Good afternoon and welcome to Thriving Tuesday Moments of Encouragement, or TTMOE at 4:30. Now it's 4:33, so that worked anyway. Good to see each of you who are here on today. Thank you for your comments. Hey Bert, hey Miss Lucy, glad that you are here. And those who are coming on, we thank God for you. And we just want to talk today about something that's been kind of weighing on me a bit, and I figure if it's weighing on me, it's probably weighing on somebody else as well. So I want to talk today about sacred soul lines. I call them sacred soul lines because it really is sacred to keep your boundaries, to not allow people to overstep the boundaries of your soul. People are going to overstep the boundaries of our lives all the time. That's not what I'm talking about today, and you should be careful about those as well. But I'm really talking about overstepping the boundaries of your soul, where because they decide that you are fair game, that they can say and do whatever they choose to, that they overstep the boundaries into your soul. And in order to care for your soul, you have to create clear, demarcated soul lines, because it's sacred. Soul lines for Sabbath, making sure you have time to be still and to spend time with God. Sacred lines, sacred soul lines for relationships. There's some things that we can't let people get away with. Some ways of talking to us, we cannot let people get away with. Some ways of treating us, we cannot allow to just ride. There are some sacred soul lines of our family. Some people think that because you're family, that you are fair game. You can do whatever you want to do them, and they're just supposed that they can do whatever they want to you, and you're just supposed to be okay with it. But when it begins to seep over into your soul, and you find yourself in that fight and flight because you just can't take their lack of consideration for your boundaries, then you have to ask God to help you to make clear, sacred soul lines. Because if we do not make clear, sacred soul lines, we will find ourselves exploding. We will find ourselves in a place where we are internalizing that lack of freedom, that lack of free space that comes from the boundaries of soul lines, because no one should be able to take your peace. And when people delve over into your soul line, when they cross that line over and over again, they are attacking your peace. And now it's not them working, it's the enemy working through them. And so my encouragement to you today is to please honor your sacred soul lines. It's good to see the rest of you who come in. Hey Cedric, hey and OB, Britt, I thought I saw you. Yep, good. Hi Miss Benson. Hey Joy. Listen, your lines that inculcate your soul must be clear to you. God gives them to us. God tells us in his word that there are places that beside the water restore our soul, but God's going to push us to the still waters. We have to be open to saying, God, why am I stressed? Why is this taking me to this place? Why is it making me feel like I can't go on? Because the soul lines have been crossed. And we have to be strong enough and courageous enough to back people off our soul lines. And for those of us that's not our typical personality, that becomes rough. But let me tell you what's rougher. Not doing it. Not doing it becomes rougher because then you don't have the energy. You don't have the strength to keep doing what God has purposed you to do, because there's too much junk that's crossed over your soul lines. So back it all off so that your soul lines can be clear, and that the peace that passes understanding, which God gives us through Christ Jesus, can be ours to have. But that word says, but we've got to guard our hearts. Here's what it says. Philippians 4:7 says this: and the peace that passes understanding will guard your heart and mind. The guarding of our heart and mind is something that peace will give us, and the only one that gives us peace is God. But when we allow our soul lines to be crossed, when we allow that area of our souls to be bombarded and clouded and cluttered with other people's stuff and stuff that people want to bring us and dump on us, or things that people want to do and say, and they feel like it's okay to say that to you because they're who they are, well, stop. You don't get to dump on my soul. So get back across the line. Get back across the line so that the peace that I need can be here while I still care for you on the other side of my soul lines. It's okay. We can care for people. We can love folk. We can do and be all that God has asked us to be for others without letting people bombard our soul lines. Guard your heart. Honor your sacred soul lines. Because people will do to you what you allow. And for many of us, we've grown up thinking that we are, supposed to be willing to, we know that, Jesus says turn the cheek if somebody slaps you. That cheek is one thing. Your soul is another. There are some things that we can take and that we should take. Some things that we should let go. That people do because hurt people, and we know that. And so some things we have to let go of, but not when it crosses into your soul lines. Your soul lines are sacred. That is a holy place. And when we are not conscious of the holy place that is our soul, we will allow people to dump. We will allow people to just move our desires out of the way and expect us to adhere to theirs. And that's a place of oppression. That's a place of abuse. You don't get to abuse my soul. Now, I may be able to take some things you do on the outside of my soul. You might be able to say things about me. Old church used to say, talk about me just as much as you please. The more you talk, I'm going to stay on my knees. I get all of that. But when you take that leap and decide that you can step in over my soul lines, then I have to respond accordingly and lovingly move you out. I got to make peace, not keep it, but make it. And if you've crossed into my soul lines and I've asked you to get out of those lines, I've let you know that what you've done does not sit well with me, that you've taken me to a place that I don't need to be in because you did not care or were not considerate of my needs, then I have a right to tell you to get out of my soul. And then I get to determine whether or not I let you back in it. I don't get to determine whether I forgive you for it. I've got to forgive you. But I get to determine whether I let you back in. We've got to take authority over our lives. Our souls are sacred. And if we don't care for our nefesh, if we don't care for our being, no one else will. Again, that doesn't mean we don't care about people. It doesn't mean we don't love folk. It doesn't mean that we aren't sharing and giving and caring. But it does mean that when it gets to the point where that is disturbing our peace, that means that we've let our guards down and they have infiltrated our souls. And we have to do what's necessary to put our lines back and put folk on the other side of those lines. So here's my prayer for you today. That if you've been people-pleasing to the point where your soul has been offered up, even without your knowing it, when you have allowed people to infiltrate your soul lines, my prayer for you today is that you see it, you see your role in it, and you ask God to show you how to no longer let people, things, situations infiltrate your soul lines. Because there is a place that is sacred for only you and God, and no one gets to infiltrate that without invitation. And even with that, that invitation works both ways. If I invite you to my soul, then I can also invite you out of my soul, because that is sacred. That is the place where God and I commune. And no one has a right to infiltrate, and definitely you can't break my soul. So I pray that that helps somebody on today. Thank you, Cedric. I see it. And I know that you know that I know. And we've just got to learn that our souls are sacred. We can let people in our minds, let people in our hearts, but when they reach to that depth, that core of us, that is our souls, we've got to be able to say, not today, not me. This is holy ground. This is sacred. And I will not allow you to infiltrate it. So may God bless and keep you is my prayer. I pray that this was encouraging to you today, that you will begin to look at how life and persons have tried to infiltrate your soul, and that you will be aware of how sacred that space is. So, protect your sacred soul lives and be encouraged. Please share this. I hope to see you soon. God bless you is my prayer.